It's Michelle from All-in-One Life Coaching, and today we're just going to talk about stuff. We're going to talk about the importance of making sure that you set good intentions. We're going to talk about the importance of make sure that you have unconditional desires, in the sense that when we're talking to other people and we want something from them, that is primarily unconditional. We're going to talk about how to change and go up the ladder when we're in a state of frustration. We're going to provide you a few cheat codes in order to be able to do that. So with that, let's get started. When we're in a state of frustration or a state of anger or fear, and we take action from that state, then it makes sense that the action that will then come out of our lips or our typing or our words is going to be a match to that frustrating state. Whenever we engage with other people, it's important to ask ourselves, what is the outcome we want from this? What is it we're trying to achieve? What is it we want them to do? What is it that we want us to do? What is this interaction going to be about? Is it going to provide value? Is it going to be helpful? Is it going to be hurtful? There are a number of things that the human can go through a very short period of time frame to go through a process to make sure that before you in fact take action in this time-space reality, that you do it from a place that's satisfying. Because again, why? Why would you do that? Because the laws of the universe are going to respond. And since you're meant to be happy, and since the world around you is meant to be happy, then it makes sense to do our best to respond from a place of well-being. You can always know whether or not you're there by how you feel. If you're angry and you have an intention to respond to somebody, well, you can know for certain that that's not going to be a very pleasing outcome. And why would it be? Have you had conversations where you've been yelling at someone and have them love you? No, of course not. If you're yelling at somebody, they're likely going to yell back because we have an inherent defense mechanism. And even the word defense is below the line. But we as humans, it's very difficult for us to be engaging in a negative experience and in the moment be able to find the other end of the stick. It's very difficult to be in an argument with someone and then all of a sudden have a realization that you don't particularly want to be there. You don't, because the whole emotion that you're having of frustration is your indicator that you don't want to be there. But we as humans, we have a hard time of stepping away, of walking away, of not wanting to be right, of wanting to point the finger, of wanting to blame. We're really, really good at that. And there's a reason. It's because we're very conditional. It's because when we engage with others, we often want something in return that may not feel as good as we think it does. So whenever we're going to reach out to someone, if you're doing it by text message to somebody maybe you haven't spoken to in a while, and you're on the front end of that text message and you're having thoughts in your head of, oof, maybe I shouldn't do this, or what if they don't respond, or what if I'm bothering them, or what if I just shouldn't? Well, that's your answer. You shouldn't. Doesn't mean you should never, just not in that red hot minute. Don't respond in a moment of lack of clarity, because the receiving end will not be very clear. Don't respond in a place of insecurity, because the receiving end will be insecure. So what can we do? First, you got to sort out why you're doing it. If you're reaching out to an old friend that you haven't talked to in a while, do they have to call you back? Do they have to text you back? Or are you simply reaching out because you want to say hi and nothing else matters? It's the sense in the human that we have to have a quid pro quo somehow. And albeit that is end up what happens to us. That is ultimately what we get. Because whenever we take action, we do get something in return. And it's always a perfect match. But when you don't make it about getting the stuff, don't make this practice, don't make the law of attraction, don't make it about being and getting the stuff. That's the byproduct. It really is, because the journey to getting it is where this is at. It's what the law is responding to. It's not responding to the stuff 5 years from now, because things need time to build and procure and to grow and to manifest. It is not possible to have a thought right now in your head, I want the new iPhone, and have it drop out of the sky. That's just not the way it works. The desire comes first. I want a new iPhone. The realization then comes that you don't currently have one. There's going to be an energy mismatch in there. I want something I don't have. It's not going to feel good. So what can we do? Well, we don't stay down in the depression of not having the phone. What do? We go, it's on its way. It's going to be available to me. It's not going to fall off the shelves. I'm going to get a job and I'm going to save some money and I'm going to be able to have the phone. Maybe it'll get gifted to me. You were meant to have the phone. But if you're unemployed, you can't have the phone. That doesn't even make sense. There are things that have to happen in order for the physical life experience to come. It will come eventually. It does every single time because you're meant to have it. The very desire that you want to have it means you're meant to have it. Just relax a little bit. Don't be so worried that you're not going to have it or that somebody else is going to get it on your behalf, because that's never the case. It's important to remember that this life experience is really about the journey that we're on. It's about getting to experience the physical stuff that comes along our way. One of the things we have to remember is that the desire for it, the thought for it, the idea for it, that comes before the actual physical experience. I mean, again, oftentimes we do get lucky and something will get dropped in our lap that we're like, oh, I didn't even know I wanted that. This is so exciting. Not a coincidence, by the way, but things happen for us because we are meant to have the good stuff. We are meant to enjoy the physical life experience that this life brings us. But when you are living a life experience that's less than satisfying, it makes it really difficult to enjoy this journey. It makes it difficult to appreciate the beauty outside and the very fact that in your human makeup, I mean, think about it. Like, think about what you are in this big picture, the ability to choose and to speak and to love and to feel. It's that very ability that truly separates us from all that is that ability to choose, that ability to know that we might be in an emotional state that doesn't feel good and then be able to change it so that we can enjoy this journey a little bit more. There is always going to be things that we want, always. When you get a new car, 10 minutes later, the shiny car smells wear off. If you have a new computer and a year from now, you're going to want another one. You may have bought a new pair of shoes. I promise you, you're just going to always be wanting more. And when you can just sort of sit back and enjoy the road to getting it, enjoy the journey to having it, enjoy the process and ultimately being able to have that physical experience come to be. Don't worry so much about how long it's taking. When you do that, it takes longer. It just does, because the laws of the universe are responding to that energy of being less than satisfied. It's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. You are responding to your life experience. And when you're sad, it makes sense to respond in a way that's sad. Don't be alarmed and don't beat yourself up for that. It's just what happens in this life experience. You have to experience those things to ultimately end up getting what you want. It is about living an unconditional, helpful, loving journey. It's about you, the human, taking a tiny bit of time to acknowledge your state of mind, taking a little bit of time in recognizing your emotional state. If you're frustrated, you're not meant to be. It's whatever you're looking at is causing that frustration, whatever you're talking about. So what can you do? You simply have to be willing to look somewhere else. You simply have to be willing to acknowledge you want to feel better. You simply have to be willing to make a decision that you're going to do something different, anything you can think of, not at the expense of others, to help you feel better. When you do, this life, this beautiful Earth planet that we live on, that is literally limitless for us. We have access to everything and anything we want. When we appreciate that those things take time to grow, take time to build. Even the human baby takes 9 months to get here. I mean, even that takes time. We can't have it right now. So every part of this life experience takes time. Let's let it have that. Let's enjoy the process along the way. Let's not be so worried that it's taking so long. Let's just know that it's coming, believe that it's coming, know you're meant to be happy, believe you're meant to be happy, and watch your life experience change for the better of yourself and everyone else around you. Everybody run out and have fun. It's what you're here for. Thanks, everyone.